Hey everyone, it's Cupquake. So I know Halloween is a few days away, but I still wanted to do a cosplay for you guys, and I gave you enough time to be able to create a Demon Bendy cosplay. I created the mask within 3 days, so it gives you all enough time to do it yourself. So let's go ahead and jump right into the tutorial. So the mask is going to be made through paper mache, and I'm going to grab a balloon. This is a larger balloon. It's the one that actually is like a punching balloon, but if you could find a large one that fits your size head, that would be awesome. So blow up the balloon so it will be able to fit over your head. And next we're going to create an armature for the horns. So I'm just using aluminum foil and I'm crumpling it up till I get a horn-like shape, something like this, and go ahead and create 2 of them. Next, I'm going to tape these onto the balloon. So be careful not to pop your balloon. So I'm just grabbing some tape and taping the bottom and top portions of the horn onto the balloon. So I'm doing this just to see the actual shape and size and to get the correct curvature on the bottom portion of the horn. So next I'm going to grab some plasticine, and this step is optional. If you don't have plasticine, you can completely skip this step, but I wanted the paper mache horns to be as smooth as I can get them. Now I'm just adding a little bit more foil and making some adjustments to the horn to kind of get the shape of the Demon Bendy correct. And then I'm going to add the plasticine over the aluminum foil and just mold that and shape it so that it fits the horn. So I'm only going to do the front portion, and once I'm happy with the shape of the horns, I actually wanted to move them. So I took them off of the balloon and decided to keep them off while we're doing the paper mache, and then we're going to reattach them. So I don't really do paper mache very often, and the first method that I tried is with paper towels and glue. So I'm grabbing some hot water and pouring it into the paper towels that I've already crumpled and tore. Then I'm going to wring out the water and add in glue. So I ended up doing 1 layer of this on the horns, and I wasn't really happy with the way it came out. So we're going to do a different technique for the paper mache. But I needed to let this dry, so I let it dry overnight and made sure that it was completely solid. So a different recipe that I found, I'm gonna put a link in the description where I found the recipe. It's a mixture of warm water and flour, and then I tore newspaper into strips, dipped the newspaper into the flour mixture, and then use your fingers to wipe off the excess flour and water, and then place it onto your horns and try to get it as smooth as you possibly can. I have an extra set of hands helping me here, so Mama Quake is helping me do this just to speed up the process because it does take a little while. So let that completely dry. We let it set overnight, and since it had been a couple days since I've blown up my balloon, I decided to blow up a new one. So we're doing 1 whole layer on this balloon, and then we're gonna let it completely dry. Normally when you do paper mache, you want to have at least 4 layers of paper mache, and you have to let it dry completely in between the process so it's nice and sturdy once you're done. To speed up the process of it drying, we placed a fan on the paper mache so it dries quicker. So now I'm removing the clay and aluminum foil from the horn, since I already have 2 layers of paper mache on this, and it keeps its form. So next we're going to attach the horns to the balloon. And the balloon is already dry here, so we're gonna do a full layer of paper mache. And to get the horns to stay in place, I'm just using masking tape to tape them down. So you might need help here keeping the horns from moving, but tape the horns down in place, and once they're in place you can go ahead and start putting the paper mache over the tape and taping the horns so it becomes 1 full piece. So we did 4 layers in total, and once it is completely dry you can go ahead and pop your balloon. It's the fun and scary part because you won't really know if you did it correctly once you pop the balloon. So So make sure it's completely dry. I am giving it a good sand here to get rid of any excess flour. It's not really to smooth out the surface, but it's just to get rid of like the crumbs of the flour. So now I'm gonna make sure that this fits my head, and I like the placement of everything. You can cut off any excess paper mache on the bottom to make it the correct size for you. And then I'm gonna grab some white matte acrylic paint, and I'm gonna place a layer of white paint on the mask. You don't have to cover the whole mask, you really just have to do the front of the face. So now that the paint is dry, I am drawing the dripping inks and the face of the demon Bendy onto the mask. So I'm just using a pencil here, and you can really get rough with it because we're gonna go in and have some texture in there as if he was drawn, just like it is in the game. So once I have the drawing in place, I'm grabbing a glossy acrylic paint and painting the whole mask except for the portion that needs to stay white. Also, I'm painting the back of the mask. I'm painting in the drips and drawing in the lines for the teeth. And then what I wanted to do was kind of get the brush a little bit dry with a little bit of paint on it and give it a little scratchy texture to the paint. It's really helpful to do this, and it's pretty forgiving if you make any mistakes because this is the style that we're going for. So once that completely dries, we are then going to work. So once that completely dries, the mask fits a little bit too big on my head, so I'm gonna need something that props it up on my head. And I know this is a little ghetto, but it works. I just grabbed a hat from the 99-cent store, and I'm taping down with some duct tape some cutout pieces of cardboard to give it the extra height. And then once you're happy with the height, you can go ahead and glue it on the inside of the mask, or you can just leave it off and kind of balance it on your head. Also, once you're happy with the placement of the mask on your body, you can go ahead and cut out eye holes so you can see, and either cover it up with white or black mesh fabric, depending on where the hole actually lands. So for the rest of the costume, I ordered this full body leotard, and it is this kind of like reflective looking fabric, and that's gonna give it the effect that it's like shiny and inky. And this one is perfect too because it also comes with like socks. It covers your whole body. So I'll put a link in the description where I got that. I believe it's on Amazon Prime, so you can probably still get it before Halloween if you do it today. Then I made a bow out of a white piece of fabric, and we did this by literally just tying it in the center and attaching it with a safety pin. And then to finish it off, we have white gloves. So that's all I did for this Demon Bendy cosplay. I hope you guys enjoy and try it out yourself. It is such an easy and great costume. You can take it on and off if you get hot with the mask. If you do recreate this, make sure to tag me on Instagram or Twitter so I can see your amazing costumes. If you enjoyed this video and tutorial and would like to see more in the future, please leave a like on the video, leave a comment down below. It really does help out, and be sure to subscribe if you're not subscribed, and turn on notifications so you get notified whenever I upload.